What is good, guys? Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with a combo tutorial video where this is going to be quite long. I'm going to tell you guys we're going to go through all the Crusadia combos that I know and work in depth with some, and these are going to also entail some for going first and going second. Now, with that being said, the going second combos are pretty self-explanatory. Any two Crusadia cards can get you to that combo, but if you lose access to Maximus, you don't really get the OTK, and you have to kind of push through in other means. But I figured for the most case, this will be a good refresher for those who are looking to get into the deck, because the deck is it is a row competitor. I guess one of its weakest flaws would be that it doesn't have as strong as a follow-up as other combo decks do, but it does have a follow-up in the form of Crusadia Crawler, getting us that search for that World Legacy card. And I plan to do these with a bunch of decks that I have, such as Infernobles, Plunder Patrols, all that type of stuff, is go in, show a case, all the combos, just to kind of refresh and just kind of show maybe some ones that you might not know, and stuff like that. But speaking of Infernoble, if you guys haven't already decided to check out, I'll have a picture up here. It is our Infernoble Ordained by Flame playmat featuring Infernoble Charles descending onto the battlefield, so I highly recommend you guys checking that out and getting that while we have supplies. Hopefully I'll have one here in the studio where I record so that you guys can see it and I can showcase it for you guys. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the video. Wait 1 second. If you guys also want to help support the channel, think about hitting that join button down below and become a member. We have tons of decks, our community is huge, bigger than normal, not huge, but bigger than what I thought it would be. So if you want to support the channel that way and become part of a loving community, hit that join button and join us down below. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into the first combo, and we will go from there. Okay, guys, so here we go. First combo, it is any two Crusadias, but you have to be able to get access to Maximus through the Magius. And the way that that happens, or the way that, that doesn't happen, is if you happen to open two Crusadias in the form of this right here, you do have to search Maximus as your Crusadia, and you miss that extra resource. That's where Draco comes in. So that makes the combo become like a 3-card combo. So you're very much reliant on opening the Maximus in order to OTK, unless you happen to have like Paralytic Seed and stuff like that to kind of those powerful extenders that let you play through or push into just have gas, I guess. But for the most part, I figured we will showcase this combo here. And that, let me get my cards resituated. Sorry, guys. There we go. So we'll just use these two cards. So you already have access to Maximus. So, I mean, there's part of the equation right there, is just having this. So to start out the turn, guys, this is, so let me explain real quick. This is the going second combo. This right here is going to allow you to OTK if your opponent has multiple monsters, and most notably, if you guys do remember, Echo Max gains what he points to, so this combo expands upon if you have a Kaiju in your hand to give them to put into the zone that your Echo Max is going to point to. But if you do not, you will be able to OTK them if they have more than one monster, just simply due to the effect of Crusadia Revival. But so, without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into it. You normal summon your Crusadia, preferably Maximus, because you want to have the ability to add this off of the Draco. You link the Maximus into the Magius over here. Special the Arborea effect, or not Arborea effect, Magius effect off of the Arborea. Add yourself Draco. You then turn these two into Regulex. You then special summon your Draco to the zone Regulex points to. Chainlink 2, Chainlink 1. Adding you back the Maximus, Regulex will add you the field spell, Crusadia Revival, which is German for Crusadia Aufschwung. Awful at German, but do my best. And then these three will link off here into Echo Max. You activate the field spell. That's right in the glare. My apologies. You activate the field spell. You activate the field spell. There we go. And then you special summon Crusadia Maximus. Use Maximus effect to target the Echo Max. Use Crusadia Revival. Target Echo Max. He can attack every monster once each. This gives him a 500 boost, making you, I believe, 16 plus 2036, which makes you 41. If you attack into a monster that is 0, you're doing 82 damage. But as long as they are 1,000 or 1,500 above, you're smacking, and I do believe that is enough for game. And then not to mention, the following turn, it's not the strongest setup, but if that is all you have and you cannot do anything else, you do have a live negate with the Echo Max, which is pretty nice. But yeah, guys, so that is it for the first combo. This is the standard, the bread and butter, the OTK combo that has existed since the inception of this deck. So now we're going to spice it up and jump into some more combos. And these are going to be mostly for the Guard Dragon variant, because that's where the combos kind of spread out. You have different routes and avenues that you can take to practically resolve your LP. Even though the combo itself is linear, it does have a lot of cool different types of plays that you can do to protect your LP and we'll get into that going right now. Okay guys, here we are. We're set up right here. This is the same old Guard Dragon combo, and we're just gonna this is gonna be much of a refresher. 2 Crusadia cards get you an OTK, and 2 Crusadia guards get you the Guard Dragon combo. This combo exists as long as we have access to LP, which if you believe LP might be going this next list, you never know. LP's been predicted to go the past few lists. But this combo I'm gonna showcase you guys without any sort of like superior extenders such as Paralytic Seed or like adding in 3 cards, because we want the most consistent combos that we can, which is 1 and 2 card combos. And we'll get into 3 cards here in a little bit, but until then, let's go ahead and show you guys this 2 card combo. You go ahead and normal summon the Maximus, link it off here into a Magus. You then special summon the Arborea. Arborea will grab you the Draco. You then turn these 2 here into your Spatha, right there. You then special summon the Draco. Draco will grab you back the Maximus that you had. You then turn Maximus or Draco here into LP. Spatha's effect will activate LP to move LP. You use LP's effect to summon from the deck your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon will then reborn back the Draco that you had. And then right here you have a 4 material Skull Dread, which will get you to a +1, I believe. We go there, you draw yourself 4 cards. There's 4. And you put back the 3 worst, but you also already had put back the 3 worst, which it doesn't matter. You break even with this combo, most certainly, instead of plussing 1. So you do break even. This, you would have another 3 cards in your hand, and there you go. And then you have different routes you can do, whether you go to the Codebreakers or you go like a different avenue, which of course I will also show you, like where you utilize the Codebreaker package. And you can almost utilize the Codebreaker package in any form of having 2 Crusadias after the Skull Dread resolution, or by having a Crusadia plus an extender, or just even 2 plain old extenders as soon as you resolve the Skull Dread. Now in the going second variant, there is, you skip this step completely. You skip the Mispatha, you just make Regulex, make True Zedical Berserker the Tinny, and then you just utilize that route to set up your app and your Equimax Negate. As long as any of these cards are possibly, that's Leonis, if any of these cards happen to be your Waterfront, the Codebreaker engine will also allow you to practically fuel the Waterfront to get to your win condition or get to Gamma Seal out. That is what these combos are made for. This is why all Skull Dread decks are very much, like the gimmick of all Skull Dread decks are you're supposed to draw the 4 Skull Dread and fix your hand so that you can construct your board. Decks like World Chalice, decks like this, decks like I believe Thunder Dragon Dragon Link and the very Thunder Dragon Dragon Link, maybe, was that correct? Maybe so. They did the same thing. Any Skull Dread strategy, you are playing a high number of bricks comparable to other combo decks, and then that is subjugated because you're making a Skull Dread to put those bricks back in exchange for powerful extenders to continue on. But anyway, guys, that is it for this combo. We're actually going to go ahead and jump into a 3-card combo, and this 3-card combo is going to be Waterfront plus 2 Crusadias, and I'll showcase this and then show you what happens or how you can play without even using LP, if that makes sense, you know? It will depend. Well, I guess you still use LP, or it can also be mostly if LP gets impermed, what you can do and how you can still finish that way. So let's go ahead and we'll wrap it up here and get in this next combo. All right, guys, here we go. This is a 3-card combo. Just by opening Waterfront in your hand, how you can put out the turtle. I'm going to showcase you guys 2 iterations of it. One to where if you get impermed on the LP, and one showing to you if you just play through it. Imperm is seeing play back in the format. And yeah, so we'll just go ahead and jump through this. Ash does hurt, but Ash does not hurt this as much. Ash only hurts LP, and you have multiple ways to play through an Ash on your LP. But in this bare bones combo, if they do hit LP with an Ash, you need a Superior Dragon Extender in your hand, which we can actually showcase if we truly need to be able to play through it. You play tons of powerful Dragon Extenders, such as Ranru. You can also play the Rocket, Tracer, and I think you could also play Black and White Dragon, but I chose to cut those from the deck because to me they were just becoming more bricks. Black Dragon is definitely the best one, but let's just go ahead and jump into this right now. So you're going to go ahead and activate your Waterfront. You're going to activate your Waterfront here. No counters yet. Normal summon your Crusadia. Link it off here for a Magus. This becomes 1. Special Leonis. Leonis effect to grab you Draco. You then link these guys off here. For Spath, this becomes 3. You then activate Waterfront's effect to grab yourself the Gamma Seal, the Sea Turtle Kaiju. practically an infinite negate walking machine here. You then special summon Draco. Draco will add you back the Maximus. Now what you do is you turn this here into LP. LP's effect to move. And this is where we'll touch base on like where we practically, if we get hit by any sort of hand trap. If no hand trap touches us, at the bare bones, we're going to be able to put out the Gamma Seal. But when you get to your Skull Dread draw, you are looking for 2 Crusadias, depending on what you want to do. The 2 Crusadias will either get you into an Echo Max with a negate, or they'll get you into the Codebreaker combo, which will then get you into an Apollosa for 2. And if you still have the other 2 cards in your hand, you can make an Echo Max negate live as well. But bare bones, you're getting to Gamma Seal, which is really good. Like, this will win games on its own. So, Spatula effect, move LP, LP effect, summon out Red MD. Red MD to summon out here. These guys right here will quickly just become a Skull Dread. Coming up to 5. Skull Dread draws you 4 cards. You keep one. This go back. And then you use the effect of Skull Dread to special summon here. And this is how come the deck is truly very consistent in putting up Echo Max plus Turtle versus or putting out the Codebreaker package, is because right through this combo we do have this 1 additional Crusadia in your hand. So all you have to do out of the 4 cards you draw and the other 2 cards you have in your hand is draw into another extender, which of course here is Faithful Crawler, which is not doing us anything. But like if we draw here, even another Maximus would be okay. No, it would not, because you'd have to use Skull Dread's effect. But we'll go here and get to Ranru. Ranru would not do us any good now. XC would not do us good now. There we go. All those cards you would actually, except for this one, you'd use these early in the combo if you had them. But for the most part, there's Reclusia. If you had Reclusia in your hand already, these 2 cards right here equal the Codebreaker combo. And since we are graced with Crawler's Presence, we don't have to... We have a hard negate with the Echo Max, which is good. Otherwise, if you wanted to value the Echo Max negate and not put up the Codebreaker side, you would just summon these here and do Regulex up into Echo Max. But otherwise, that is it right here. That is the bare bone minimum. Now we're going to back it up here, and I'm going to showcase you guys what it does if your LP, if you get your LP gets interacted with like an in-perm. So let's go. Okay guys, so we've wrapped it back up here, and then we're back here. Your LP ends up getting Ash Blossom, or not Ash Blossom, Impermed. If it is Impermed, you're still fine because you can still special summon here. These guys right here will link off into a 3 material Skull Dread, which is still fine because you can use Skull Dread's effect to special summon here, and you still have your win condition. You still are able to put out 2 solid negates, and not Echo Max, but Gamma Seal is not just 2 negates. Echo Max is as many negates as your opponent really wants to give you, which is really important. Your opponent will play into this card fairly well. But yeah, so we can actually go, I think, into the next combo line, which will be how to do Codebreaker now, which is which I will showcase you guys how to do the Codebreaker combo. It's another 3 cards and you need, and I think it is dependent on what you draw off the Skull Dread, but I will do a hand to where it just shows you the best case scenario and like the most prominent hand you can get. Okay guys, here we go. This is the 3 card, not really a 3 card combo, but this is like still, it's very difficult to describe. You need 3 cards in your hand, and we're going to showcase Venru, which is the best way to utilize this 3 card, and utilize the Codebreaker package that kind of comes with the deck. And that is just pretty simple. Codebreakers give us a lot of utility, and it's just crazy. So we're going to go ahead and showcase you this combo right now. So you're going to go ahead and normal summon your 1 random Crusadia, link it off into Magius. You can go ahead and special summon the Renru here if you so choose. You don't have to. But I choose to go ahead and get the Renru out now because this is a spellcaster, so Renru is a free special summon. And this is intricate because not just is this important, it's because this right here allows you to save the Draco, and Draco's recursion is what allows you to get like almost a pseudo-free Codebreaker road. I know, I really struggle to say that. But you special summon your other Crusadia or Extender here, trigger in the Magius, to grab you, Draco. These 2 guys right here turn into your Spatha. Then you just turn the Renru here into the LP. Spatha's effect to move the LP. LP's effect to summon here. The Dragon's effect to summon out Renru. And then we have our Skull Dread for 4. So we go right here. For Skull Dread, you draw 1, 2, 3, 4. You keep 1. Put back 3. So you still have 2 other cards in your hand. So technically right now, you do have 2 other cards. So your hand is a 4-card hand, which is not looking too shabby. You go ahead and special summon the Draco here. That's assuming you didn't draw Waterfront. If you drew Waterfront, go ahead and activate Waterfront just so that you will be able to get the Gamma Seal out as well. But we don't need Gamma Seal because we have the Codebreakers. This will add you the Maximus. You then can use Maximus's effect to special summon itself. Now, if you happen to have multiple Maximuses in your hand, you can actually use Skuldred's effect to special summon this out. So then when you finish your board, you can use Maximus's own ability to summon itself to give Equimax a negate. But anyway, so you just, whichever way your hand is shaped, do that. But Maximus comes down regardless. These 2 go off into Codebreaker Virus Swordsman. Virus Swordsman's effect will summon out 0 Day. 0 Day will turn into the Virus Berserker. Virus Berserker brings back the Swordsman and the 0 Day. So currently right here, we are looking at enough damage to OTK if you happen to be going second. Now, we're going to turn this right here. We're going to turn those 3 cards into 2 negates about, depending on what this hand is. Now in the OTK variant, which I've talked about, 3 cards equal 3 negates in that combo sequence. But there is not a lot of, there's no really higher ceiling, as in the only higher ceiling that Skuldred is giving us here is the ability to draw into Waterfront, and Waterfront and Gamma Seal are just really good and a really good engine. That's why, the deck did so well. Previously, that's why World Chalice has done so well, is because Skuldred plus Waterfront is just a crazy interaction that exists. Now, in the OTK variant, you don't do that. You don't use that at all. You just practically are putting up 3 cards to get you to this similar board, but 3 negates, which of course, when I get those cards and I go into combos for going second, or do a combo for the going second variant, or a deck profile, I can showcase you guys that. But right now, guys, you are just going to turn these guys right here into a Goddess Bow for 2. It will get a boost for 3, making it 19. And then you turn these 2 right here into your Equimax. And now, if in any of your hands you have another Crusadia or Paralytic Seed, which is actually really good, you'd probably trigger that now. But we're not going to play like I have. But if you have any sort of Crusadia in your hand, which conveniently, yet again, here's Crawler. Crawler can be set, and then right here you have 3 negates here. The only problem with this entire combo string here is that you don't have a lot of follow-up with that. You do still have to retain 2 cards in your hand if you do happen to have another Crusadia, which is better. And if you do happen to be like me and continually to open Crawler, Crawler can special summon itself and get you a World Legacy card such as Succession or Guard Dragon. So that is pretty much like the end board combos. This is what we're going, the goal is to try and do is to either try to get to Gamma Seal or try to get to this. And in this scenario, we would also have a rank 4, whether it be Rafflesia or Paralytic Seed. We would have that out on the field as well, backing up this board right here, which is nothing to kind of snark or laugh at. I have seen plenty of people lose to an app for 2, and we give a little bit extra grease to it because we have the Equimax. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this combo up, and I'm going to showcase you guys the 2 Paralytic Seed combos that exist. And yeah, let's go ahead and go from there. Okay guys, so this combo is just simply here, 2 Crusadias plus an Exceed. And this right here is going to get us anti-Nibiru or anti-hand trap protection. And you just have to open Exceed for this to work. You can also play cards like Foreman Skipper, which will get you to Paralytic Seed, but it might get you a turn too late. It doesn't, the Paralytic Seed route does not get you under 5 summons. It will get you to a Rafflesia before you make your LP, but we're trying to cover all the bases here. And with cards still in the format like Herald and Ogre and Gamma, mostly Gamma existing, we don't want to normal summon Foreman Skipper, activate the effect. Gamma goes to grave, we lose. We'd much rather just take the chance of opening Paralytic Seed that way. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. This combo is going to showcase you, which is pretty self-explanatory, I'm not going to lie. If you've played Crusadia for a while, this is pretty clean cookie cutter, so let's just jump into it. Normal summon your 1 Crusadia, you link that off into your Magius. You then trigger Paralytic Seed in hand, summon chain 2, chain 1. You then summon out from your deck Paralytic Seed and grab yourself the Draco. And then you turn these 2 here into a Rafflesia. And what Rafflesia allows you to do is send the Gravedigger's Trap Hole from your deck to the graveyard, burning your opponent for 2,000, 2 stacks, and then you get to also be able to negate that card that activates in the hand, field, or hand, graveyard, or banished. And yeah, so you are protected from Nibiru because this is, I believe, our 4th summon here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. So this is our 5th summon, excuse me. So we get to do it that way. Now, this is where the extra extender comes up because you need that extra extender along with the Exceed and the 1 Crusadia to be able to special here and turn these cards here into LP. And then You special the Draco. Draco adds you back the Arborea, and then you link here into this LP. Spatha then moves the LP, and then you have the full Guard Dragon combo this route right here. The only problem now is that if you guys would notice, you still will have 2 other cards in your hand. Now, if one of those is Waterfront, you're sitting pretty nice. If they are not Waterfront, you already have replenished the cost of one of the materials needed to go to the Codebreaker side. So whatever you draw, you are more likely to draw into an extender. Like, it's very unlikely that you won't draw into not an extender to be able to get out with your Skull Dread to go into the Codebreaker side of things. I'm still kind of working on something. A few members of my Discord. Again, if you guys want to become part of the Discord, hit that join button down below. I've talked about playing something like Nightmare Griffin and or Firewall Dragon, because even though we can't summon out the Cyverse monster from our hand, because in this list we don't play them, but if you do play Form and Skipper, you do get the ability to do that, which is really cool. That would give us an additional bounce to end on. Instead of just getting to an app for 2, we get to more solid stuff, because as good as an app for 2 is, app does not have a lot of attack, and that's where we're kind of trying to fulfill that, because all they need is one monster that's over 2,000, well, it's over 1,900, normal summon, whack app, we've lost 2 negates right there, or just beta negate, normal summon, crash over. So the good thing about the other route is that with the Codebreaker side does give the deck a little bit more flexibility in what you want to move into. A Griffin would be cool, because Griffin would also be like a blanket lock for all your monsters. However, again, Equimax gives them a link zone that they can be linked to. It's just hit or miss hindsight, play test with what you want. But anyway, guys, this right here is as far as we're going to go. The combo is pretty cookie cutter. LP will summon Red MD. Red MD brings back the Draco, makes Skull Dread. Open in possibilities. So now we're going to go ahead and jump into the 2-card combo and showcase you what we can do with those things. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, guys, so right here is the 2-card Crusadia plus Parallel Exceed, which will happen. Sometimes you will just open 1 Crusadia and no extenders. You'll open like a lot of mismatched cards that won't summon, like maybe like very seldom will have like multiple Waterfronts. Let's say multiple Waterfronts, maybe Call by the Grave, Crusadia Power, Crusadia Crawler, and stuff like that. So like sometimes you'll get these 2 cards here, and I'm going to showcase you guys how you're going to be able to utilize this and how you're also going to be able to protect your LP from cards like Imperm. It will lose to the Ash Blossom, but if they got it, they got it. Not much can be done. You can do the best with the hand that you are given. So we're going to go ahead and normal summon the Arborea. Arborea will then turn into Magius. You then do Chain Link, activate the Parallel Exceed in hand, summon it, Chain 2, Chain 1, summon back out this copy here, grabbing us the Crusadia Draco. Now, you turn this Parallel Exceed here into Link Karibo, and then this is how you're going to be able to play around Imperm if they have it. You go ahead and turn these 2 here into your Spatha. But whatever side you build and put the Link Karibo on, you're going to move to the other side to build over there. And I've been trying to figure out a hand. I think it's like, I thought it was a 3-card combo, but it's probably going to be pushing like more like 4 to 5, which is not consistent and not good enough. I was hoping it'd be 3. But there is like some 4-card or hands of 4 cards, hand of 5 cards that you will actually be able to put up Ling plus Rafflesia. So then you're not only able to protect yourself from hand traps, you're also able to protect yourself from both hand trap plus Imperm. And then you're just able to combo here, add yourself back the Arborea, and then again you have 4 other cards in your hand. So that means you're going to draw 4 off the Skull Dread and be able to put back the 3. Now there is some interesting interactions here that if you do make LP, Spathis like to move LP. You go right here. If they do have an Ash Blossom here and you can't really do much, you can turn these 4 into Skull Dread, and then all you need in your hand, which of course you will have, I believe, 3 other cards in your hand. That's correct. Yeah, 3 other cards in your hand because it's a 2-card combo. 3 other cards in your hand that you can actually make a Skull Dread. So if LP eats Imperm, you protect it, you combo off. If LP meets Ash, you just turn these guys right here into a Link 4 for the Skull Dread. Wherever, I guess I didn't expect to get this far. You go to your Skull Dread. It will not get to draw you any more cards, but if you have like Arborea, or if you open like 2 Arboreas, you can then like special this Arborea via its own effect. Use Skull Dread to summon the other. You then make the Virus Berserker, and then you have the Codebreaker route that way. I do believe that is it for the combos for this video, guys. There is tons more, or like not really tons more you can go into, and like tons you can talk about, because there's like different scenarios, different extenders you can play. But for the most part, I mean, it is technically any 2 Crusadias do get you to what you need. 2 Crusadias will get you to an Equimax OTK. 2 Crusadias will also get you to a Guard Dragon combo, which then is open-ended to the way in which you want to play. I know that you can play just the virus, like you can play the Codebreakers here and do practically, make like Apollosa and stuff like that. You could actually even play 2 Skull Dreads if you really wanted to, instead of like going off into like LP or going off into Apollosa. you could just make a second Skull Dread and then draw more cards if you really want to play like Waterfront Turbo. But I don't believe that is the correct route to play the deck if you want to play going first, because currently right now people are saying that the best way to play a deck is going second. I actually am kind of leaning towards that myself. I believe going first is super powerful and super busted, but hand traps are like the most decks play matter of 12 to 8 hand traps, and this deck can play through 1 to 2 hand traps, but once you get into that 3 to 4 range category, you are pushing it. And most people open 3 to 4 hand traps, and we just get crushed. And sometimes it's better to play those hand traps and go second in one punch. However, I enjoy playing the going first variant myself. This deck has done me very good in the past, so I just figured showcasing you guys and brushing you guys up on some combos that you might not know about. Maybe this right here is just an entire, maybe you're a veteran player and you know all these combos, or maybe you're a new player and you want to know these combos. So at the end of the day, hope this content was, or this video and the content in this video was worthwhile in learning. But remember guys, stay safe, stay happy. This is Charles from Team CLG telling you to have some happy crusading. Signing out.